and I know I speak for Senator Ossoff, we were struck by the amount of damage done to this community and this region. We saw the trees that have fallen on people's homes, the folks who've been displaced. Um, but in the midst of this devastation, one of the things that's inspiring is to see neighbors stand up together and to support one another. And our primary message is that we're here with you for the long haul. We will stay in touch with the White House, with all of our partners, to get the federal resources that this region needs and deserves.
Senator, also thank you.
I think Senator Warnock put it well, and for every family who spent that long night hunkered down in a closet or in a bathroom, hearing the wind ripping by and hearing trees come down and wondering if their roof would hold, everybody who's sustained flooding and property damage, businesses and homes that have been damaged and destroyed. Senator Warnock and I are here to say that we are here with you and for the long haul, and we're fully committed to working together with our partners in the federal, state, and local governments to support a long-term recovery and rebuilding effort. And I want to thank Mayor Matheson, Chairman Slaughter, all of the first responders and emergency management personnel, everybody who continues to put their lives on the line doing dangerous work to help clean up and help this community recover.
And can you talk a little bit more about what steps you are planning to take in terms of that long-term recovery? Because clearly there's still a lot of need here. And I know just talking to people, they feel like they've been a little bit forgotten with a lot of the tension being down in Florida from the storm.
You know, we are committed to this community's long-term recovery. And that means, of course, supporting the immediate cleanup and recovery efforts, but also the long-term rebuilding that'll be necessary for the business community, for the agricultural community. We're in close touch with the White House, with our colleagues in Congress, and working with all levels of government.
Now I'm going to WCTV.
And kind of go over what's next.
Well, I mean, look, to imagine these families going through what they went through with this kind of storm and attack, you know, it's one thing to hear about it, it's one thing to be here on the ground, which is why it was important for us to be here and to see it for ourselves, to talk to some of the folks who are literally cleaning up and trying to pull their lives back together. The good news is that neighbors are supporting one another, but they're going to need help. They're going to need help from their government, and that's our job. So we've wasted no time. We've been in touch with the White House. We have coordinated with the governor and others at the local level as well, to make sure that we get the resources that we need. We've got to make sure that we have support for families who've literally been displaced. There are businesses that have been devastated by this. We know that in other parts of this region, there's been damage to pecan businesses, and we need to make sure that we can do everything that we can to support them both in the short term and in the long term, and that's what we intend to do.
I might just add, you know, and Senator Warnock and I both have young children at home, and we know that for families with young children and for seniors in particular, losing power, losing water for a few days is more of an inconvenience. It's a crisis, and it's scary for families going through that. So want to thank also all the Georgia Power crews, everybody who's been pulling together, fire, all the public works departments, EMS, EMA, for helping folks to get power back on. And again, please know that your senators are here and we're committed to supporting your long-term recovery and rebuilding.
And so you mentioned restoration for families and businesses.
Administration is a federal entity, and we intend to lean in and try to get all of the support that we can at the federal level for these small businesses. A lot of these businesses are literally family run. I was talking to a local entrepreneur earlier today whose grandmother started their local hamburger business. I know the folks in Valdosta know that place here, and it's been in business since 1976. But they have been devastated by this, and yet they're showing up for their neighbors even while they're trying to pull their business together. Well, businesses like that, they don't have a large margin. And so here's where we've got to do everything we can to provide them the support that we can, and we intend to stay focused on that. We will not take our eye off of this. We will remain focused long after the media attention is gone, and do everything we can to make sure that you have both the short-term and the long-term support that you need. Uh, Let me say also that in moments like this, we are especially mindful of the work that our first responders do all the time. They do this work all of the time, but when you have this kind of regional devastation, you see how important it is. Firefighters, police officers, people in our medical facilities who are doing the work, people who did double shifts in the hospital so that people could get the care that they need. There's no doubt that Valdosta is standing up in this moment of devastation, and we just want you to know that we're standing with you.
Now we go to WALD.
Thank you.
I know you guys talked about businesses being destroyed and everything.
Are undertaking joint damage assessments so that such a request, when it comes from the state to the president, is full, complete, and accurate. We both corresponded with the president, and our team spoke with the president's staff late last week, encouraging that there be a swift affirmative response to that declaration. Once the governor makes that request, then it'll go to the White House, and we're going to keep working and pushing to try to ensure that this community and every affected community in the state get all of the federal resources available.
Lastly, we have the Valdosta Daily Times.
Hi, I'm Catherine Smith. Just thank you for coming out and speaking with us today. I just had a quick question about, I know right now we're sort of seeing those